the Madman! Welcome to the Shaman star ratings for RASTAKHAN. This particular class was very tough to give ratings for. This is the class to look into if you're a mad scientist. I feel like there's a lot of potential in this one, but it's really hard to see whether or not all the cards will synergize with each other enough to create a brand new creation. Now let's start with Wartbringer, 1 star. It's tough to justify a card that only does that if you play 2 spells, and the payoff is just being able to come up with an extra 2/1 into mid to late game. Totemic Smash, 2 stars. I don't think that the Malagos into Totemic Smash, Lightning Bolt deck is going to be that strong, and ultimately 1 mana deal 2 damage has never been too exciting. Big Bad Voodoo, 1 star. I have shockingly seen some people rate Big Bad Voodoo highly, and I'm extremely confused by how, because it's basically Ancestral Spirit. Ancestral Spirit wasn't used, and why not just use Unstable Evolution? Likkim, 5 stars. 2 mana, 3/3 weapon if you're really optimistic. In Shudderwock, Likkim can certainly replace Keleseth. It'll be much desired to have this 2 mana 3/3 weapon. As a reminder, when you cast your Lightning Bolt, you're overloaded not only on the turn that you cast Lightning Bolt, but also the turn after you cast Lightning Bolt. Given that Shudderwock naturally runs Lightning Storm and Volcano, I feel like Likkim will be able to be used plenty of times. But past just that, I think Likkim has a lot of potential if you're looking to combine it with the Spirit of the Frog deck. There's all this potential for an Overload deck as well. A 2 mana 3/3 weapon, like if you put it into a deck which is relatively easy to get the precondition for, that seems great. Zentimo, 3 stars. There are a few different paths to using it. First of all, you could use it with basically cards that buff your own guys. There's even talks about using it in combination of Wind Fury and Rockbiter Weapon to do massive amounts of damage. Seems tough. The other purpose is to Zentimo into Hex, or Zentimo into Tidal Surge, or Zentimo into something bad that targets the opponent's stuff. It's kind of tough to find the condition where you need to deal with 3 or more of your opponent's spells when you can just run Lightning Storm and Volcano also. Zentimo's in a strange spot where he seems good, but similar to Electra Storm Surge, will he be able to find the right spot? Spirit of the Frog, my reveal card, my pet favorite. I'm going to put it at 4 stars. It's a Gadgetzan Auctioneer, which continues to draw cards the turn afterwards because it's stealthed and protected. It's a card that costs only 3 mana, and you can even activate it as early as turn 3. You play it in the late game and you get a lot more cards, similar to Gadgetzan Auctioneer. Another comparison I like to make is it's like Stargazer Luna, except it always feeds you like cards that you can continue to play on the cheap. And Spirit of the Frog finally combines so well with Haunting Visions. It splits the Haunting Visions spell itself into 2 more spells. Originally was going to make my top 10 list, but I am just a little bit shy on whether or not it's quite good enough. Bog Slosher, 2 stars. The number 1 deck I see this slotting itself into is the mid-range Shaman Shudderwock deck, which after the Giggling Inventor nerf has never quite been the same. The main problem with putting this in the normal Shudderwock deck is you might Bog Slosher your Shudderwock into your hand instead of grumbling your Shudderwock back into your hand. Kind of similar to how Youthful Brewmaster never saw play. It's just so much better for your Shudderwock to cost 1 instead of 9. Haunting Visions, 3 stars. The place that I see Haunting Visions seeing the play the most is in any deck with Spirit of the Frog. Now, I'm not saying that all Spirit of the Frog decks will run Haunting Visions, but I think it's pretty likely because whenever you play Spirit of the Frog and then you play Haunting Visions, you are going to get the Haunting Visions branched out into 2 spells. I don't think a 0 mana Shaman card, which just said discover a spell, would actually be played. But it's specifically in combination with Spirit of the Frog where it's good. It's also specifically in combination with Kragma the Frog too. 4 stars. Kragma the Frog double dips on all of your Unstable Evolutions, double dips on Haunting Visions, and if you're getting 2 spells back with Kragma the Frog, you're looking in really good shape because that was a better Ancient of Lore. I see Kragma the Frog in a bunch of mid-rangey decks. Rain of Toads, 1 star. This is a 6 mana, 6/12 worth of stats immediately, but at the cost of the overload later on. Kind of like how Feral Spirits is a 3 mana, 4/6 worth of stats. In theory, Reign of Toads also doesn't seem that promising. Just in terms of the mana to stat ratio, 9 mana, 9/12 worth of stats, meh. So all in all, Shaman is an interesting grab back. I think there's a lot to explore in Shaman. Will we be able to see a good Spirit of the Frog, Kragwa, Likkim combination? Is it Haunting Visions? Is it going to look like a face deck? Is it going to look like a mid-range deck? Is it going to look like a control deck? Are all three possible? Is it going to be heavy overload with Thunderhead? Is it going to be just light enough amount of overload to run Likkim? Get your tinkering out if you are a mad deck constructor for Shaman.